Well, one of the core principles of Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich is the power of the mastermind. You know, he talks about that in the book, and it's the power of the mastermind. All these successful people, they would mastermind. They would get together with other people because what do we say? Iron sharpens iron. That's a core fundamental belief is when you're around people that are like-minded, that can, maybe even they're not like-minded, but they've got that growth mentality, you know, iron sharpens iron. You get better around other people. And what you're doing, that power of the mastermind is something that when you're bringing agents together, helping them grow, you know, you're helping them sharpen the saw. I think it was Abe Lincoln that said, if I had 8 hours to cut down a tree, I'd spend 7 hours sharpening the saw.
Sharpen the axe.
You know, and so talk a little bit about what you've learned from the realtors in this market. Like, what do you think, if you were speaking to realtors in general, which you're not, but if you were, what makes a realtor successful? Out of all the stories you've heard, what makes a realtor successful?
Yep.
Salespeople, just put salesperson in there. Yeah.
Sales in general. Yeah. I mean, anything business related at all. I think there's two things that stick out. Number one, I think people who are super successful and at that level have figured out ways to remove themselves as much as they can from just the low income producing activities, right? The delegation of things, the systemization of stuff. AI is a huge help now with a lot of things. Obviously, it's brand new really to the industry or into the world, but it can be an awesome tool for us. But then I want to go a little bit deeper because I think the biggest thing that I see is everybody's, you know, created and born differently, Brad. Some people are built for a 9-to-5 job, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally okay. Other people want to create something and be an entrepreneur and have their time and control their income. But what we see a lot, at least with real producers, to answer your question, is people come in with all different backgrounds. And there's usually a struggle whether they've owned a business prior or if they've just had a 9-to-5. And that struggle for a business owner who's ran a business prior to real producers is forgetting and letting go of the things they already know. Because with what we do, it's totally different. There's going to be a learning curve to what we do. So we always say, you know, follow our program. And we say that all the time because it works. We've stepped on every landmine in 10 years. So if you have successful people that you trust or that you know has a great system, like just follow it. Follow the blueprint that's already been created by those who've done it before you. Steal from the best. You and I have talked about that before, right?
My favorite acronym is SWIPE. My buddy Ty Bella told me this. He goes, SWIPE, steal with intention, practically everything. Steal with intention,
yes.
Practically everything. So like give credit where credit's due. Like, hey, I got this SWIPE. I got this acronym from Ty Bella. That's my guy. Shout out Ty. You know, but you give credit where credit's due, but then swipe it. Steal with integrity, practically everything. And before we hopped on this call, John, I was telling you about, you know, our story and how we've grown and the success we've had is, you know, I've modeled my business off of other people. Like I look at law firms and they specialize. You know, if I need real estate help, if I need, you know, family help, family law, if I need business mergers and acquisitions, if I need, you know, tax law. I mean, there's so many different avenues in becoming and specializing in the law that in real estate, I thought, man, I bet we could adopt the same principle. So there's principles and fundamentals that are tried and true. The strategies and tactics will change, okay? Fundamentals and principles won't change, but the strategies and tactics that you adopt into your business will change. They'll always change, whether you're, you know, if you cross over to different industries or businesses, whether it's year to year, you know, staying relevant, your strategies and tactics may need to change every single year. But you know what? Your principles and your fundamentals won't.